Hello there, and thank you so much for joining us today right here on Transforming Families. My name is Faith Kaulu, and I'm excited to have you on board. And if you see me in red, you know the space, the air is just full of love, and that is what we are talking about today. But before I tell you what about love exactly we are tackling, let me introduce to you who will be with me during this program. And on my right is Reverend Edward Karanja, who is a minister with the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, as well as a marriage and family therapist. Thank you so much, Rev, for being here today. Karibu.
Thank you very much, Faith.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to be here in the Transforming Families, because like we always say here in the Transforming Families,
Yes.
we say stable families for a stable society.
Sure.
And this is the month of love.
This
We're
is
here
the
to
month of
celebrate
love. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Karibu. Another very far end is Professor Catherine Gashuda, who is a counseling psychologist as well as the director of the Kenya Institute of Business and Counseling Studies. Prof, thank you so much for being here today. Karibu.
Asante sana, Faith. I am very grateful to be here.
Yeah.
And following through with what Lefred has said, families are work.
Yeah.
And it is worth the work.
It is worth the work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of work, young people are so excited about Valentine's and February in general. How has it been for you on your end, guys?
Oh man, it's the month of love. I mean, I'm so excited about this. In the church where we are at Kasarani this month, the whole of this year we are talking about Christ the solid foundation, and we are building on every month a stone. And the February, of course, we are talking the stone of love.
Nice.
And we're talking about the love of God that transcends, our love and goes to every sphere of life. So this has been very exciting time round. And one of the themes that I enjoy most in my life to preach about, talk about, is the grace and the love of God.
Love of God.
Because when you talk about the grace of God or the love of God, you talk about that which you don't deserve, which God gave you freely. There's nothing as sweet as the gift of love. And anytime you're in a space of loving or feeling loved, it just excites you. It just, brings out some nice feelings, nice energy. When you're in a happy place, and that's why I'm really happy this day. When you're in a happy place, it boosts your immunity, helps you to feel better and nice inside. So you can only imagine this month, I'm just having a blast as a minister. Because, it's about love. The church, we have had, dinners all over. The other day we had the couples dinner, we had the youth dinner. That was just awesome. The youth dinner was the cowboy theme. That's what they were having. The couples dinner church was the vintage, theme.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was awesome. We have enjoyed this month. It has been very good. And between me and my wife, is that moment when you rekindle your love. Is that moment where I'm like, hata ukanyagwa ukanyagiki sana. Because you're like, it's a moment of like being easy and letting go. So it has been beautiful.
All right.
Great.
Amazing.
Prof?
Listening to Reverend, a lot has been happening, and this is a month where couples have to think about reconstructing their relationship, reconstructing their marriage, refocusing themselves to one another so that they can nurture each other much more. When the Bible in the book of Corinthians talks about that love is patient and kind, just being reminded those attributes that make sense in a love relationship is very important. In our church, we have Touching Lives Family Ministry, which was actually started by Reverend Karanja. When he was the minister in our church. And it has grown from strength to strength. Yes, Corona had put it down, but we are picking up with Jubilee weddings. We would want to have mini weddings, and we are actually getting members of the church to appreciate that they can do it and it is doable, and that we are going to be having mini weddings in April. Oh yes,
that's beautiful. And now that we're talking about love, today we are tackling the very hard question that people always ask: is love enough? we really want to understand. Is it enough to sustain two people who've consciously made the decision to be together forever till the end of times? But even before we get to answer that question really about is love enough, let's start with looking at what is love really. Prof, take us through that.
I would say that love is the initial materials required for people to be able to stay together, united and vibrant in their own relationship, because love has to do with that deep longing of affection for another person, and that longing can be sexual, it can be physical, wanting to be together all the time and wanting moments to talk together, to make one another feel good in relationship to each other. And you know, you feel stimulated when you're talking with a person you love and care for. So there are those spaces that are more emotional in nature, that you're connected with each other emotionally, and there is vibrancy in that feeling of you are connected with each other. You'd want to belong to each other, or you belong to each other. And there is the physical thing in that your chemistry, you feel attracted to each other, and that's a good thing when people love each other. And at the same time, there is a spiritual chord. Something tells me that I need to settle with you. There is a spiritual chord to it. And therefore, when you're talking about love, we are talking about that strong yearning and longing to be together and to have moments together and to be joyful together in one space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rev, I know you want to have your input in this, and I'd like you to also include, is love a verb or is it a noun? Because we've had discussions, people say love is not just about the person saying I love you. It's about what does he do to show that he loves you even if he doesn't say it. Yeah.
Is it a verb or a noun? It will be a noun if it's just said. It will be a verb if it is actualized.
Okay.
You know, it's actualized. You know, you can see it. Because like it has been said by Prof, which I'll add up and say, love is an intense feeling of attraction towards the other person. You know, like I feel intensely attracted to the other person. I have intense longing for another person. I pick my phone, I can't wait to hear that text message. I want to hear that text message, that phone call. I receive all the other phone calls, but it's that one phone call that makes a difference. And because there's an intense longing for that particular person. I get the text, it could be so many, and I just scan them through, but there is that one particular text. When I hit it, it has some, strong intensity inside of me. So that is what the love will be, and it's the initial thing that brings the two people together. So it is both a noun and a verb.
Okay.
Because it is that intense feeling that brings me to the person. And immediately I am now attracted to the person, so it's a noun. Now what sustains it is a verb.
Okay.
So now it is what is said, what is done.
Indeed. Yeah.
The actions towards it. So the noun is not enough. So the saying that I love you and kwani sikupendi, simini nimekwambia nakupenda. That's not enough. The actions, the way you talk to me, the way you care about me, the way you relate with me, the way you treat me in public. When you find me in public, how do you treat me? Or how do we share our things? How do you show out the feelings, Does my pain become identified with you? Do you identify with my pain? Do you identify with my joy? All that now becomes what sustains the noun. The said, like, I love you, now gets sustained by all those other things that could be in there. So I don't know whether I really am making sense.
You are. And I like that definition.
Indeed.
Yeah, because we can't disregard whether it's a noun or a verb. It's both.
Yes.
But now we need the actions
Yes.
to actually actualize the noun and make sense. Because if I say nakupenda, see, just the example you've used, nimekwambia nakupenda, believe it. and my actions don't match that,
Yes.
then there is no love there.
Yeah. And some people really try to intimidate a person, and by telling you, see, I told you I love you, so shida yako ni nini? So but si uliniambia utakuja huku kuja, uliniambia utanipeleka dina huku nipeleka, uliniambia utanipa nyumba huku nipa, like, and the person tells you, kwani uamini nakupenda? Don't you believe it?
Yes,
you know, that is intimidation. That is trying to silence you, so that the verb is saying there is no noun.
Yeah.
But the noun is trying to say I am here even if there is no verb. But the two must
Coexist,
correlate.
yeah.
Yes, coexist.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. And I think that then exposes the emotional blackmail that happens when there is no verb. And I don't want us to get into that because we'll digress. Let's look at love at first sight, because you said it's an intense feeling. Let's talk about this because we are trying to get to understand what love really is. We have people who say, you know, I believe in love at first sight. I just saw you, Prof. I fell in love with you, and I want to settle down with you. Is this a real, or would we say then that's infatuation at that point? You know, does love take time? Is it a process? Yeah.
Right. Love at first sight. There are many things that make one to be persuaded within oneself, whether they are the emotions that are getting persuaded that this person is good for me. And one of it is the physical appearance. Like the way, Faith, you're looking wow today.
Thank you.
That this person is looking at you and saying, you know, Faith, I would want to settle with you.
Yeah.
I want that demeanor in my house, you know. So we look at the attributes, we look at features that contribute to a person feeling that really I'm settled within my heart and within my mind, that this is a person that I can settle with.
Yeah.
And yes, love at first sight is that physical appearance that you're liking in the person because you have not stayed with this person long enough to be able to see those other elements or aspects or factors or attributes coming out, so that you can be certain that this is a person I can bank on, and this is a person we can go a long way with into the future.
Yeah.
And therefore that is the beginning, that you like the physique.
Okay.
But you see, there are other aspects like our beliefs. Are they the same? Do we have commonalities? Or we will hit into the marriage and then we'll start moving in different directions. And we have even seen people going to different worship places because they do not prescribe to the same religious dogmas. They are different.
Yeah.
And this can start now making them to start pulling away from each other because their beliefs are not in concurrence, or they are not able to prescribe to the same beliefs and therefore move the journey together. Culture has a thing when it comes to, can we still continue on?
Yeah.
Like this person from this community who is saying, I must eat mudokoi. If I am going home, someone has to learn how to cook for me mudokoi.
Yeah.
So culture, traditions, and experiences that people have gone through can make people to be compatible or not be compatible. Someone can walk away just because of food, or walk away just because of some customs, maybe the way people bury in their culture. And you say, we don't bury like this, and we don't say these kind of things, and we don't do this kind of things, and therefore I don't think I would want to stay in this marriage relationship. Education.
Yeah.
You married a standard 8 graduate. You have a PhD. In terms of even the content of your conversations, it's very different. and you feel we are not compatible with each other. But you see, there was the physical attraction in the beginning, but because of these differences now, you are tending now to move in different ways. Age can also be a factor that can play in making people to deepen their love relationship or not deepen it. You have gotten married to like a lady who is your senior. Maybe because you didn't have enough mothering, you went looking for a mother to be in relationship with, to romance with, but you realize the way she controls you, you can't take it. Because you see, if you marry a mom, you're marrying a parent, and the parent is going to control you. But now you can't take it. Now you're saying, you can't be a mother to me. But in the beginning, you married a mother. And therefore, you have to stay with what you chose from the beginning. So I would say there are other factors that come into play that either makes a couple to be more compatible or to be less compatible, and the glue that tied you together in the beginning, it starts melting, and now you're not together, you're not compatible, and you don't think that this is a worthwhile relationship.
Okay, so other than love, other than the intense desire and feeling, there's other aspects, including compatibility. How compatible are you with each other? Because then that's what will hold you together. Okay, so let's now look at love. We've seen what love is. We've looked at other factors that are important. We've also defined love at first sight, which I feel was really important. So let's talk about now, is love enough? I have settled down. I have decided I love him. He loves me. We are settling down together. So, Reverend, here comes the big question. Is love enough?
Is love enough? As I answer that, we're like what Prof has just said. A gentleman marries the mother. Love at first sight. You saw this lady, you got attracted to her, but kumbe you are attracted to the mother, the care and all that of her mother. So along the way, it falls down. I wanted to complete that statement. Say there are also ladies who marry their fathers. So not just the guys marrying the mother. There are ladies who marry a father. They see this gentleman is understanding, is caring, and the reason why the sponsors, the so-called sponsor, the reason why he's such understanding and caring like a father is because his experience in life, he has seen so much. So even when you come so excited or not excited or you're angry, anakuacha tu, anajua uta down. So you're like, this guy is so nice to be with, not like my age mates, who when I hit the roof, they also hit the roof. This guy, I hit the roof, and I relax, and ananiambia pole, tunaendelea na maisha. It's because he's your father. Then also this guy provides better because he has worked longer than your age mates. He's financially a little bit more stable than your age mates. So along the way, finally, you realize, which you thought was love in first sight, the guy is 10, 15, 20 years older than you. And when a man and a woman have a difference of just 10 or 15 years, or 20, you almost look age mate. When the girl is about 25, and the man is 45, you look okay. The lady is 30, and the man is like almost 50. You still look okay. Wait until when the guy hits 70 or 60. You wake up in the morning, you wonder, guy,
what happened?
What happened? Because after 60, 65, the man changes. His physique changes immediately. And a woman that time is about her 45. At that age, 45, 50, a woman is almost even very, very sexual, they say. Between especially 40, 45 to about 60, a woman is sexually very active because she is not concentrating on childbearing. The worries of her life are not there. She's not even worried that she can get a baby if she goes to bed with the man. I even remember meeting someone, a lady who was about 60 something, 61, 2, 3 there, and she was like, she's even afraid of HIV and AIDS. Because she's like at 62, 3, even if I got HIV and AIDS, and I live with it for about 20 years, I die at 82, 83, siniko tu sawa, nisha hit 70 ya Mungu.
Wow.
So, you know,
Interesting thinking.
I know.
so even the entire fear just rolls down, and one just starts enjoying life on the first lane.
Okay.
So you can imagine she's at that age, and the guy was 20 years older than her, or 15, and she's 60. So the guy is what? 80 plus.
Yeah.
Sasa wata 80 plus ni mtu wa kutolewa nje apelekwe. Let me get back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not railing.
No, you're not.
So is love enough? The love as a noun is not enough.
Okay.
And it is just like we have tried to explain here, where the love in first sight, because you could almost say love at the first sight is the noun. I love you, and you think you do. But then along the way, things have changed. You know, we all are a process. No person, no human being is static. We are all a process. You find myself today, a lawyer beginning, become a reverend, become a marriage and family therapist, become a retiree, become, you know, a pro in whatever area. So you are all a process. There is a way you keep on processing in life until by the time you are 60, 70, you are not what you used to be. It's the same thing with a relationship. And Prophet explained it very well. I marry a lady, attracted to her. Like when I met my wife, my goodness, I had gone to preach in an open air crusade. She was leading in praises. And I saw a light-skinned woman, inaitwa rangi ya pesa.
Rangi ya pao.
Rangi ya pao, you know. I saw this light-skinned woman, curvy, you know, shape. She has such a shape. Man. And she was leading, and she was leading the praises.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You can,
Because I know Sarah.
and I said, look at this girl, leading praises. I mean, I couldn't even remember the songs she was leading, you know. And when it was my time to go and preach, I had been invited as a guest preacher in that open air crusade. I'm not so sure whether really I concentrated on preaching as much as I was concentrating on where she was standing and hoping she would not leave before the sermon is on.
Yeah.
It had to be a shorter sermon.
Yeah.
Someone had to be short, so just to make sure she doesn't leave before I'm done, so that I can go and say hello and get her contact and where she's working.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, of course she's in my house now. So that was that attraction. That was love.
Yeah.
Was it enough? No, it wasn't. It was not enough. It is important, but it wasn't. That intense feeling of attraction towards a person is important.
Okay.
Because it's that attraction, that love, the noun, that helps me to get to know the person, get closer to the person,
Yeah.
settle down with the person, because I'm feeling closer to them. I'm feeling attracted to them. I want this beauty in my house. I want to wake up and see this beauty. I want to walk around the house, see this beauty. I want to be in the streets and see this beauty. So love is important. But love, as expressed, I love you, it is not enough.
Okay.
Because now she gets into the house, there's a price to pay. The Waswahili wanasema, ukiona vielea, vimeundwa.
Yeah.
To maintain that beauty, I got to pay for it. You see that girl and you can hear Prof says that he knows her.
Yeah.
Fine, you see her beautiful, lakini kupatia invoice.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But the invoice, ndio utajua, last saying I love you is not enough.
Yeah.
There is going beyond the saying I love you and maintaining this person. You know, marrying them, giving them a home, giving, you know, children coming up, supporting one another. There is all that thing now coming out together. So the aspect of me sitting around and with my wife telling her, I love you, it is good, but it's not enough. It must be followed by the action.
Okay.
How do I talk to her? Does she feel that I respect her opinion? I respect her way of life. I respect her choices. At our age now, it's even easier now because I don't have to go everywhere with my wife. I'll tell her, I have been invited by Prof to her house for dinner on this day. Are you available? If she says no, I am committed, I'll tell Prof, Sarah will not be able to accompany me for dinner. Is it okay if I come alone? She says, okay, I'll still go to her house.
Yeah.
There are those days now I really, really wanted to be with her at that moment. But now you realize along the way, I need to also respect her choices and her opinion, her feelings. Even those moments, I have really wanted with her like the whole day in church, and she's like, I want to rest.
Yeah.
So I will do my 3 services. She'll come for 1 service and go back home and rest. I'm the minister. I'm the one who is called. She's home, and I'll find her lying on the couch. And I will not feel bad about that. I will respect that space.
Yeah.
There are moments when she knows I would want to take a rest. It's a Monday. I'm those guys who love being alone. Me, I'm the people who can can go to a meeting, niwe chairman wa meeting, nijiite mkutano, nimalize, niseme benediction, na niende nyumbani. And I'm working with that.
Yeah.
And Monday is one of those days I really like the slam down, just resting. And my wife will respect that space. I will even sometimes go out to play golf. Monday I do golfing with the clergy. And mainly they are the Catholic fathers I am golfing. But when I feel I want to be alone, I will know the fathers are in Thika Golf Club, I will go to Real Sports Club.
Okay.
So that I can walk on the golf course alone. And just walk and meditate and feel nice on my own as I play my balls. Sometimes even without a caddy, if I lose 2-3 balls in the waters, it's okay, I'm in the bush, it's fine.
Yeah.
And get back home and feel good. My wife respects that space.
Okay.
So life is not enough. Love is not enough. It goes beyond now that I love you, because love is energy transferred. I have chosen to love this person. From that time henceforth, you now learn to love your choice.
Okay.
Yes, so love is good. It's not enough, because from the moment you get married, you now learn to love the choice you make.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I like that. There's something that you mentioned, and I think we need to tackle it. You say that love is not enough,
Yes.
but it is important.
Very.
Because one would ask, if love is not enough, then what's the point of all of it? You know, we'll be looking at that right after the break. Dear viewer, do not move a muscle. We'll be right back in a few.
Ni wakati wa kuomba. Ni wakati wa kuomba.
2022 is a special year for the Women's Guild Fraternity, for we will be celebrating 100 years since the Women's Guild Fellowship began. We must acknowledge that this has been made possible through prayer. In this spirit, we are beginning a journey of 100 days of prayer and fasting for all women, beginning 12 February to 22nd May 2022. In this season, we invite all women to pray for the nation, the church, families, the women ministry programs, and the success of the 100-year celebration, and any other item as the Lord will lead you. Remember, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective.
Natangaza ni wakati wa kuomba.
Our esteemed viewers, greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We welcome you to join us this Sunday, the 27th of February 2022 at 9:30 a.m. as we worship the Lord. The moderator of the 23rd General Assembly, Right Reverend Patrick Tegumutahi, together with the Fraternity of PCE and Dagani Parish Chuka Presbytery, welcomes you to the dedication service of Jerusha Kanywa Memorial Church, led by Reverend Felix Mudhoni Nyaga, the parish minister. Join us for this eventful sanctuary dedication, and let's get blessed together as we spiritually arm ourselves to praise, serve, and give thanks in this new church of the Lord. Tune in to CAC TV on Signet, CAC TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube to fellowship with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for keeping it right here. Today we are talking about, is love enough? to keep and sustain a relationship, a marriage, and a family together. Rev had mentioned that love is not enough, but it is important.
Yes.
And before I ask you, why is it regarded as important if we can survive and thrive without love? Prof, what's your view on that? Is love enough? Of course, earlier on you mentioned that there are other factors to be considered. Yeah.
Is love enough? And it has been tackled very well by Leverett. But I want to say this, that the more you get into the marriage relationship, and even going back to what Leverett was saying, that yes, the noun love is good, because then this is a person who is likable to you and a person that you are attracted to. But then it needs to be operationalized. We need to see the practicals in this love relationship when it comes to the marriage relationship. And that is why we've been saying that marriage is work and family is work. There is work that you need to do. There is cultivation that you need to get into so that you can get the contentment and the satisfaction that comes from a marriage relationship that is giving to you. So is love enough? We are saying no, it's not enough. But it's critical and crucial because it makes you to be happy and vibrant and to appreciate that you are related with each other and you are connected with each other, and there is a longing for each other that happens all the time. You'd want to keep that. But again, we need to ask ourselves, what makes people feel that my marriage is dead, completely dead? It comes from realizing that I'm feeling cheated in this relationship. I'm not getting what I got into this relationship to get. And therefore, a couple needs to realize that they need to maximize the values within the worth, the benefits within a marriage relationship. What you're getting from your spouse needs to be intentional to make it or to maximize it and to advance it as you go along in your marriage relationship. Now, when the benefits are minimized and the costs are maximized, then someone asks himself or herself, what am I doing in a marriage relationship that is completely empty? And you feel, I'm getting betrayed in this marriage. I don't like the feeling. I'm getting stressed in this marriage relationship. I don't like what I think and what I feel in this relationship. Because I'm criticized, whether it's about the way I'm wearing or the way I'm eating or my body structure in the bathroom. I am criticized even over things that I can do nothing about. Someone is being cynical at me, and someone does not even care whether I eat. I come into the house, is there something to eat? And someone says, we are adults, all of us. People can take care of themselves. Or you're talking about parenting together and you stopped parenting together a long time ago. Every person does their own thing in this parenting. And that is why the children are drinking, the children are indisciplined, the children, they have misbehaviors that even other people are seeing. Simply because you don't lead from the same page. You don't open chapters together. And there are too many files in the marriage that are opened without being closed. Unresolved issues within the marriage relationship. So I would say yes, love is important, but then we need to see along the journey there are certain things that need to be enhanced so that this marriage can be able to survive whatever challenges and emerging issues are going to be there. Is it children going to school? Have you looked into how you're going to be supporting those children who have started going to school? Or even children who are leaving home, how are you going to be taking care of them? Or even when the finances come down, how do you deal with that? How do you adjust into the new situation where finances are low? You realize that yes, there was a spark in the beginning when you met, but you're not able to handle things together, and you start getting weary. In a marriage relationship, there is something we call wear and tear. And if you're not taking care of the wear and tear within the marriage relationship, eventually you're going to get to a level you feel you have hit the wall. I don't need this marriage anymore.
Okay. I like how you've mentioned that love is not enough, but it is critical.
It's critical.
And it is very important. Which brings in the aspect of arranged marriages. People meet, they don't know each other, honestly, they're not in love with each other, they know nothing about each other, but here they are, two people who are expected to settle down in marriage and find a way to make it work. So this brings in the aspect then, why is love important if we are seeing that it is not enough? Right.
Love is important because, like we have said, the things we have said about it is we've said love is not enough, but it is important.
Yes.
It's critical.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
So, in all that, we are saying love is good. Love is important.
Okay.
You can't ignore it, but it is not enough. You need more than love. And that's basically like what we are agreeing in this program.
Yes.
That love is not enough, but it is not unimportant in a relationship. The question has come in, then how would the arranged marriages work? And they have been there. It is good to realize that in true, planned marriages, organized marriages have been there and they have survived. That does not necessarily mean they have been happy. But they have survived. People in those relationships have persevered. They have given birth, they have gotten children, they are where they are. But those relationships are very few today in the current life than they used to be. So if indeed it was like love was never important or critical, the arranged marriages would be on the rise other than on the decline. But on the other hand, the arranged marriages have been on the decline, and very few people today are into organized marriages. In the traditional way, the girl would be gotten by her parents. Organized marriage, she's put into somebody's home, now another maisha. She did not have a choice. So that intense feeling of attraction to the person wasn't there. If anything, probably it was fearful. She sits around here, this gentleman, and she's like, guy, I have to live with this fella. Then she stays until she overcomes the fear, until finally it is over. It was almost like rape, like continuous. This person has slept with you, didn't want them, they sleep with you again, they sleep with you again, and you're like, instead of hurting every day, wacha niambie mawazo yangu iko tu sawa, so that the body can relax and I don't get hurt anytime this guy is coming to me. But then those ladies will persevere for some time. Ikiwa ngumu kikiumana zaidi, she would organize and go get another lady, a co-wife, akuje, amweke kwa hii ndoa waolewe. Today you hardly find that. A lady going to get another person? No. Why? Because what brought me and my wife together, or my husband together, was that attraction. So I am jealousy. I want to defend that. But the arranged marriages, women in those days were ready and willing to go and get someone else to come and help her deal with this mess I got myself into. Because there was no love here. It is just something that was arranged. It's an arrangement. It's a living arrangement that has been around here. So it's important to realize that. Then you even realize even those people who belong to the religions where organized marriages used to happen. Like I was in the East African Revival Movement, where the most Anglicans and the Presbyterians will be that kind of as some AIC people, olden days were in that. And they used to organize those marriages for the young people. Today, those movements of the East African Revival Movement is no longer there. People are not having their marriages being organized. Even the Wakorino. The Wakorino, you know, the people used to dream, you know, wanaomba riswa, wanasema wewe utaolewa na huyu. So you know, and they say the Holy Ghost has talked. Today, those young people, even with the turbans, wanaambiwa the Holy Ghost has talked. And the Holy Ghost was talking, I was looking another direction. And others will say, if the Spirit of God has talked to you, go tell God to also talk to me. Miss Jaskia. Miss Jaskia, God has been there. So they are on the decline because love is critical, like we have said, is crucial, is important, but it is not enough. Yes. So those arranged marriages, they worked, but they were not happy. They simply survived. Majority of the people in those relationships, there could be one or two that you would say was happy, but the happiness came along the way. As maybe somebody stayed, realized in a choice, I have to just stay here. Then along the way, it started working. Yes, and you see what we say, love works for those who work at it. So one has gotten there, they have said, I'm going to work on this relationship. I have no choice out of it. Yes.
Okay, very well put. Here are two couples, and Prof, earlier on you mentioned that the wear and tear in marriage, you know, and I want us to look at that. There comes a point where people say, my marriage is dead because love is no more, you know. So what's the point of being there? As much as this may sound like an obvious question, I'd still like to put it out there. So love is no more. You can feel it from your spouse that, apana, we're just staying because of the kids or because I'm the wife of his youth, so we're staying together, or we want to maintain an image. There and then, when love is no more, when the attraction is not there, what then to do? Can this love be revived, or can that marriage be sustained by these other factors, you know, that we are saying are important?
Right. Can this love be revived? Yes, it can be revived because when you become intentional in working on something, then there are results that you get out of the work that you give to a particular process or to a particular event that you would want to have an outcome, a positive outcome. And therefore, over time, the energies or even the what you used to feel before starts going down. And it goes down in all aspects. It can be the conversations that you used to have together, you no longer have them. The staying together that you used to have before, you no longer stay together. The even doing acts of service that you're going to be there for your spouse, and there are certain things that you're going to be doing. You can make it a tradition. You no longer do that. So many things have changed over time. We may want to ask ourselves, what makes those changes to take place? Because we are moving from one developmental stage to another, that can be a factor that is coming in the way in terms of we are drained or we are different, because over time we are changing, because children are coming and we are finding ourselves going through the motions of taking care of the children, and our focus now has moved from both of us to the children. And maybe we are going through financial difficulties, and the focus now is not on each other but on this particular issue that is giving us difficulty. Or maybe we are having problems with our extended family, and they are giving us a lot of their own people to come and stay with us. So the focus is not to us, but is on these other people and the needs that they have. So a couple needs to sit down and ask themselves, where did the lane start beating us? If there was a spark in the beginning, there was love in the beginning, then how did the love wane away? So that here we are feeling like we are not even connected with each other. We are different entities and we never bother with each other. So what happened? And that going back to the beginning where the rain started beating them will help them to see maybe the children came in, maybe finances came in, maybe corona came in, maybe a medical condition came in, and we started focusing on this medical condition much more than focusing on each other, and we lost it at that point. So that now when we know these are the sources that have gotten us to this level where we can say love has completely dried up. So then there is something we can do because we have touched on the source. Because anytime that you touch on the source, you'll be able to touch on what needs to happen, the strategies that we need to employ so that we can get ourselves back to having a spark again, to having love again, to looking at each other and feeling excited with each other, because that indeed needs to happen. Because you see, love is the fuel. Love is what keeps you going. Love is what makes you happy. And it makes you excited because you feel, I am contented, I am satisfied in this marriage relationship. Indeed, I bless the Lord for this marriage because we're still connected with each other and we still long for each other. Where is Mama so-and-so? I want to have a walk with her. Are you willing we take a walk? And she says, yes, we can take a walk. That you still can do activities together. That still you have common interests and you can do some activities together is a good thing. So I would say once you identify what killed the spark, then you can be able to know what you need to do so that you can revive that which seems to be dead so that it can come alive.
Okay. There's something you mentioned about the spark, you know, that it can be revived. And it is not a guarantee that in all marriages the spark is going to die at some point. You have to keep doing the things you are doing to keep it alive. So as we are coming to an end, I think from you both, a free marriage advice, if you do not mind, to our viewers on how to keep this love alive, because we have said it's not enough, but it is important to feel attracted to your partner even when you're old and gray, which is possible because we've had stories of people who are 80 and still so much in love. So then how to keep it alive, how to keep it going, how to keep the spark.
Thank you very much, Faith. Indeed, it's important to be deliberate in keeping the spark alive. And there are a few things I would want to mention, maybe three. One of it, for you to be able to keep the marriage fire burning, you know, keeping the spark going, keeping the marriage fire burning, one of the reasons is good to realize that love works for those who work at it. So, I mean, akuna ukiona vielea vimeundwa. It is not just going like you're going to sit down there and it works. You got to work on your relationship. Work on how you talk to one another, work on their respect, work on intentionally looking at your spouse being attractive. Intentionally looking at your husband as being good. And if there are areas that you really want your spouse to change, like for us men, like maybe you're dressed in a certain way, maybe you're going mrefu, maybe you're mfupi kiasi, maybe high, let me be intentional. Love works for those who work at it. The second thing I would always want to note, for that marriage fire to be kept burning, it is important to realize that commitment is key. Commitment. It is your commitment that keeps your love. It is not your love that keeps your commitment.
I like that.
So you got to remain committed. So your story of you spark to you on the noun, I love you. And now the commitment to what you said, which is now the verb, that commitment is the commitment that keeps the love it's not the love that keeps the commitment. So you remain committed. I am committed to my family. I'm committed to feeding them. I'm committed to buying this, committed to doing this. Be deliberate. I go see a nice dress, I'm committed to doing it. I am passing by through the bypass na kuna nyama choma inaniita, I'm like, this is good for my family. Stop. Nichomeshe kilo moja ya nyama, like jana nimeenda home na nyama. Nichomeshe nyama, ninapeleka nyumbani. And I like doing that all the time. You know, that commitment is that commitment that keeps you alive. You're paying school fees with Thanksgiving. Unapenda, unajua, wow, this is my family. I have children. The other guys will have babies. Thank you, God, that I have the opportunity to do it. You remain committed. Be deliberate about it. And the third thing, besides trusting in God, the third thing, have fun.
Okay.
Life is about fun. Don't be so serious. Too much seriousness in life destroys fun.
Yeah.
Be kiddish. Sijui nani atuambia, the moment you have gotten married, sasa wewe boring, wewe bored, lazima uvae design fulani, kama ni red, lazima nishinde nimevaa collar, uwezi vaa kinyasa na t-shirt. Me, until my parishioners, I go to a parish, guys get mesmerized, then they get used to me. That I am easy. I will play around with my kids. I go to a place I need to swim. I don't mind much what the guys will say. Hey, Rev, anatuangu mbele watu wakaswim. Do they expect you to swim in my collar? And there's a swimming pool and I have paid for it. Yeah. Be easy. Wacha kujicomplicate maishani. You know these things, we hear this advice all over. Mwanaume achekangi na bibi yake, mwanaume anataka akae ngumu, mwanaume sio kushinda akicheka na watoto, watakuzoea vibaya. Kaa kunizoea vibaya inanipa raha. Sasa kwani kuko shida gani? So I'm like, have fun. Be easy. This life is not permanent. So the moment you have a day or two, have fun, be happy. Of course, trust in God.
All right.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Well said. You know, the Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And we have so many people within marriages who do not know what they need to do with this marriage. They lack the knowledge and they lack the skills and the attitude to keep the spark going. And therefore I would want to say that you don't experiment with something that you love. You don't do trial and error with something that you love and you're deliberate about. Because indeed you can be very deliberate. But if I don't know what to do with my deliberation, then still I'm going to do nothing about it. So I would say that you don't experiment with your marriage. Like you are experimenting on how to communicate with each other, or you're experimenting on how to take care of your parents, both sides, or you're experimenting on how to take care of the children. You don't do that. I would say that you require knowledge and you require the skills and you require the right attitude for you to be able to do well and to make your marriage to be healthy. Go to those seminars, those workshops, the training. Look for a training that is going to help you to be able to attain the knowledge, to be able to handle that component within the marriage. Is it communication? Is it problem solving? Is it decision making? Is it taking care of your wife or your husband? What really gives you difficulty? You need to have what it takes for you to be able to take care of your spouse and for your marriage to thrive.
All right. Thank you guys for being here today, for sharing your wisdom with us. You know, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And for you, I hope you have learned 1 or 2, 3 things. Tell us in the comment section below, what is your takeaway home? Indeed, we have agreed that love is not enough, but love is important. And with that said, we are wrapping up the month of love. Dear guys, I hope you had or experienced a lot of love. If not from a partner, from families, and from God. You know, thank you so much for tuning in and being here with us. This is Transforming Families, and my name is Faith Kaulu. Till next time, goodbye.